Shelby Bonney, and I'm the host of the Technology for Obama Innovator Series. We're joined with Chris Kelly, who we have been speaking to about his background and his role at Facebook and other things he's done. But we want to talk a little bit about innovation. You probably were at one of the single most innovative companies we've seen in the last 20 years. And I'm curious if you could just maybe focus on one of those really kind of innovative things you worked on at your time at Facebook.
Well, early on, we had a bunch of discussions about the way that we thought the web should work. After achieving ubiquity on college campuses, with everybody just navigating to everybody's profiles, the question was how you aggregated that information, how you turned it into what's become Newsfeed. And the discussions were long and extended about what Mark thought the product should be, and Chris Hughes was involved in those conversations. Dustin, myself, a number of different people who were there at the time. And as it started to get developed and then launched, people hated it. It was the most amazing thing in the world to see how much people objected to the change. But I think it's hard for everybody today to imagine Facebook without Newsfeed, or the Newsfeed that you see in your LinkedIn profile, or on Yahoo, or on many other sites today. Activity feeds were where the web needed to go, and Mark in particular had that insight.
And
sometimes innovation is tough and messy is what it comes down to.
But I think people often think, when they kind of imagine innovation, they see movies and stuff, I think they think there's some incredibly smart guy sitting in his office and light bulb goes off and he's like, ding, I've got the idea. That's not what happens most of the time. Can you maybe talk about, take something like Newsfeed and, was it Mark driving it? Was it a whole
Mark
team?
was definitely driving this, but it's a process, that there are ideas that are presented that are bounced off a number of different people to see, explain why it would work. One of my roles as the Chief Privacy Officer was to say, okay, we have these privacy settings that we've invested a lot of time and effort into building around who could see what and how the friend infrastructure works. We have to make sure that that's all respected as we change this. And they the engineers did a fantastic job of building that. And people didn't understand that we hadn't changed the way that information was available. We had changed the presentation of it. And so we knew we were going to have challenges explaining this. I don't think that we realized how big that challenge was going to be. But we overcame it over time.
And when you look at kind of those couple of nuggets that are necessary for kind of an innovative culture, what do you think those couple of nuggets are?
I really think that it's a dedication to thinking about the way the world should be, as opposed to just accepting the limits that you're given. You have building blocks that you can't radically transform everything all at once. You have to bring people along. But it's important to think about the end goal and what you're trying to get to. And for Facebook's mission, it was about making the world open and connected. That has to be a process. People will reveal more over time, and it should be willingly. It should be under their control. And that was one of the reasons that Facebook has succeeded where a lot of other sites haven't.
And how important was Facebook started in Cambridge, moved to the Valley. How important was the actual physical location?
So certainly at the time it was critical. Having access to engineers and to the culture of Silicon Valley is something that fed Facebook astoundingly well. I don't think that that's inherently geographic over time, though. It's much more attitudinal. Silicon Valley is where that ethos pervades everything. It is the most innovative region in America. It is the only healthy economy in the world right now. But I do think that we can spread that ethos everywhere, and I think that having policies that encourage experimentation in business and in government help drive that very well.
That's great. Well, Chris, it's been a real pleasure talking to you, and I look forward to talking to you again. Thank you.